Shalom. I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh Bashem and Shay, Bashem Kakadash, double honors to the elders and the apostle of GMS, and salutations to you, sincere brothers that's pushing this truth out in the four corners, highways, and byways, the hopeful elect. All praise to Yahweh Bashem and Shay. There's some news here, some news rose up over there in Trinidad. The spirit bid me to go into. And this is TNT walks in tight ropes, right? In the crosshairs of a Cold War, right? This Cold War consists of, the Russians, the Americans, the Chinese, right? They setting up we can say garrisons within these places, which also can lead to which also will lead up to the World War III, right? And is affecting and got the neighboring countries in worry. But a lot of people not this is not making known to a lot of people. A lot of people are ignoring these facts that destruction is coming upon this place, starting with America. It will come to the Caribbean. There's just a lot of people at ease, especially in Guyana. And especially people in Guyana, they at ease. They don't feel that these things will come upon this place. This destruction. When we'll read through it, play a video, and then go into scripture. Alright? It says here, Russian interest. Venezuela or Chile island is the focus of Russian interest in its plan to establish an air naval base in the Caribbean. In April 2002, the late Hugo Chavez, the president of Venezuela, was held prisoner on the island during a 47-hour coup d'etat. Says Thursday, inauguration of Nicolas Maduro's second 6-year term as president of Venezuela has triggered an escalation of political conditions both within and without that country. Right, they got crisis in Venezuela, and also without, because they got other countries, like for instance like America, they got a little beef with the Americas, right? Going on with potential far-reaching implication of Trinidad and Tobago and the rest of the Caribbean, because the Venezuelan is teaming up with the Russians, right? And China also is moving in, right? America is trying to get certain ground, right? And which also it would involve the Caribbean, because Venezuela take up a gold mass. Venezuela is a big country, right? Going on, it says here, over the past 72 hours, the southern Caribbean has been dragged more definitively towards the epicenter of an emerging geopolitical hotspot in what is already being referred to as the 21st century Cold War, right? It says it has ramped up the threat of a greater exodus of Venezuelans, because they find they also finding to go into other countries, to where for look for a life, start some life, look for jobs and these things, right? Exodus of Venezuelans seeking refuge here and in the neighboring states, and intensifying the pressure of CARICOM and the regional integration movement. Right, because this worry, that's setting up and waiting. The scripture says that these things will start, right? Here Bro, he really went in on a video, you know, sound like a Trinidadian.
All respect and manners, goodness. Well, let's see what we wake up to here this morning, brother, the 13th of January 2019. Front page of the Express. Well, as usual, the masses will just read this morning and ready to care about that because carnival in the air. But one, welcome to the new Cold War. You understand? Remember the other day, two of the nuclear bombers land right here in Caracas. Right? Well, you see this morning what's going on with these islands here. The Orchila Islands. Right? That is the new base for the Russian, for the new naval base. Right? You see where we located here? We in the cross here. Now the Russians moving in on this base. It's long time. It's not now the planning now. It's long time. And the Americans now will come up from down here. Because the water is grounds here. The water is here. Venezuela. But the Russians going and set up a base right here. And this is Trinidad right here. So we have to know what line and what path we're treading on. And we have to make a decision. Because the Americans and them here, and they here, and they want here. And the Russians setting up the base here with the Chinese, the Orchila Islands, and Trinidad here. So we in the total cross here. So, only take a look and pay special interest in this. Because you know why? It's a special report. Special report. Alright. Well, they can't say, you know. Well, they didn't know. Alright, one.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 18. It says, the beginning of sorrow, great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. Right? These are leaders. The beginning of evil. Right? What shall I do when these evils shall come? Verse 19. Because this Ezra, he says, see this vision, right? God is revelation. It's like we can do when these days come. Because Ezra is back in this time, right? And he's showing distress here. You know, verse 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Verse 20. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, because all these death is coming upon the world, right? And destruction, and a lot of you simple people, you seeing these things and ignoring them, right? The scripture says Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, is gonna come as a thief in the night, right? When he comes, a lot of you gonna be out of your out of your comfort zones, right? Because there ain't gonna be nowhere for run, right? Ain't gonna be nowhere for run. Let's see if we get another one here. Because a lot of y'all at sleep. Slack, let me just get here. People just asleep, especially over in Guyana. A lot of you guys, y'all proud. You're real proud. Nobody in you're seeing these things and just ignoring them. So can I just 15? 15. Yeah, the second is just 14 verse 16. It says, for yet greater evil than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. Right? It was greater evil. We had World War One, we had World War Two, right? We even had them Cold War. But these evils that can come which will lead on to the World War Three, right? It can be worse. You know? It can be greater evil than those things. Verse 17, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more evils increase upon them that dwell therein. Right? Let's get Revelation, see. Revelations 11 and 14, it says, the second woe is past. Woe means destruction. The second destruction was what? World War II. Is past. And it says, behold, the third woe cometh quickly. World War III. You know, a lot of you people still asleep, but these signs just coming out. You know, these signs, the most I giving you guys, there's no excuse. Right? Because the second is just 9, it says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Right? Because he coming to set such a thing in order. Right? I hope this video was, enlightening, especially to the elect. Right? Because the scripture also says, my people be ready for the battle. Right? So, next time, shalom.